would like to confirm if we already have our documentation ready so that we see what to get to.
Yeah.
Super. Have you tried to tackle the challenges that we were facing earlier on? Actually, I've been looking forward to reviewing the documentation. Have you, in one way, been able to go through?
Sorry, pardon?
I'm currently inquiring if, in one or another, you've been able to go through the documentation that you're supposed to work on, and we can review it right now and then see the next steps
Yeah.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I added the flow diagram,
Look,
the
how is it?
orchard.
How is it coming up?
I can show you. I decide.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's start from there. Let's start from there, please.
But then I tried pasting it or copying it to my Word. It always just have, I don't know. So I'll just share the where I did it.
Okay,
I want
please.
in a Word.
It's okay. Try and let's see what you have there. Oh, great. You used the app diagram. Looks nice.
Mhm. Yeah, I use this one.
Looks great.
That's how it looks like. Though, like I don't know if we can. I don't know if you really have to focus on the shapes that I used.
You see, the shapes are also very important. They all tend to symbolize something. A bit by now you have been able to go through the core elements.
No, yeah, I'm not full. Yeah, I'm aware of them.
Mm-hmm.
But on the rhombus, I forgot what the main purpose of the rhombus was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know them, but then the rhombus. Okay, you can maybe assist me and I'll change of it.
So the shapes when coming up with a design diagram are very important. So I think that's something we can try and look at. But in the meantime,
Yeah.
try and try and give me a perspective on how you have been able to come up with your with your design before we get to the shapes and all the.
Yeah. So you remember the system? How you remember first how the system was work? I was supposed to share this, but then the problem was it was getting hard, so I didn't know how to share with you.
Um, did you try to export it? So there are two ways. There are two ways in which you can be able to go about this. First of all, you can be able to design this diagram using a different tool and embed it on GitHub. Actually, that is the most advisable one. But this one is also great as long as you can be able to embed it on GitHub. Because remember, every documentation, every work, you'll have to access it back later on GitHub. So it's very key to ensure that it's something you can be able to access even later on without a lot of struggle.
So can you upload this if you are like this on GitHub?
Yeah, even this one a bit we can try. We can try to upload it to GitHub.
Okay, first let's make sure it's okay.
So for GitHub, there's a you can use Mermaid diagrams for designing the apps, the systems, or even the workflows. All you'll have to do is you have to create them inside the Markdown file. The Markdown file can be a README or even a docs. So all you have to do is come up with a standard GitHub app flow, which is a Mermaid, and understand how the directions options will look like. Yeah, and then come up with shape meanings in the GitHub app diagrams to ensure that the shape meanings indicate the process, indicate the components, um, what it's used for. If it's used for APIs, you have to indicate it. If it's used for services, you have to indicate it. If it's used for the UI components, the business logic, all of them are very important. And then now for making the decisions, you have to ensure that you can also properly come up with a Marmot diagram for that. If it's authentication checks, validation, logic branches, input stroke output, databases, external systems, start and end, subsystem and group, all of them are very, very important. So we'll also try and see how we can do that from as a basic product application, at least, just to give more perspective on how you need to go about it for your own personal consumption. But in the meantime, when it comes to the shapes and diagrams, you'll realize that there are different shapes that convey different meanings. For example, these design shapes, the design diagram shapes, when you talk about a rectangle, for example, the rectangles convey the process or the action, and they indicate the system component, the steps in the workflow. For a rounded rectangle, they indicate the start or the end points of something, or maybe the entry or exit states. For diamonds, they indicate the decision points or conditional logic, if it's yes or no, if it's true or false. For parallelogram, they indicate the input or the output. So that means if it's a data entry or a display, it's very important to have that clearly. And then for cylinders, they indicate the databases, the persistent storage. For circles, they indicate connectors, events or triggers, where that is where we have things to do with context or dependent. For ovals, they indicate terminators. For example, it marks the end, the start or the end, of a flowchart. Very, very important to note. For what we call hexagons, they focus on what we call preparation steps or other initialization logic. For what we call trapezoids, these are manual inputs or just user-driven operations. And then also we have what we call arrows. Arrows are majorly the usual. So arrows always indicate the flow direction. They indicate the control or data movement from one end to another. Then we have what we call swim lanes. They indicate responsibility boundaries, and then also we have roles or systems or separation. Then we have clouds, which focus on external systems. It could be the internet or even third-party services. Then we have what we call dashed lines. So there are quite a number, but so far up to where I've gotten to, you've realized that a good number of the ones that I've shared with you, they are very keen and very important. So I think it would be really great if I come up with a GitHub flow of that, so that I can be able to properly have it visualized to give you all, or rather to give you a proper understanding of it. And I believe even other people will really benefit from this. Right? Is it here? I hope you're not speaking
Yeah,
on mute.
yeah.
Okay. So I think up to that point we can continue. I would really like to hear your thought process on how you came about with the flow diagram here.
Okay. So the system is a finance and a budgeting app. So you first start by launching the app. So when you click, so it's the user first opens the app. Then there's a way you decide to input your data, either to connect a bank account or to manual entry incomes or expenses. So after that, after either you connect either of them, the system then collects the data. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, so the system collects data, like the income, for example, like the incoming data, the expense data, the timings and billings. The system then uses the AI to identify the patterns, like the essential bills, the upcoming bills. Yeah. So you can list all of transactions there. The AI then it sets a set buffer. It sets a set buffer, yeah. So it sets which reserves a safety buffer, which includes essential bills are covered, overspending is prevented, or the financial risks therefore it's reduced. So the system then it generates core outputs. The system produces two key tools now. So the safe to spend focused and the what if scenarios, which allows the users to allow simulate spending. Like what happens if the user spends $20? The system then supports in decision making. Yeah, yeah. On the alert-based notifications, on the alert-based notifications, like the way you say, like instead of using messages, we can use alarms or alerts alerting the user. So instead of using long reports or chat messages, the users we can use push notifications. I don't know what that. So these alerts, they what do they do is they deliver one insight at a time. Yeah, one message at a time.
Okay.
Works like reminders or alarms.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have optional options for the users, which can you after receiving the alerts, the user can choose to simulate the patches to test a spending decision. You can view your weekly summary. You can decide also to do nothing with it. So the system also has optional features. The optional features which includes you have our premium features. You can also turn the notifications on and off. You can also have the institutional access where students can access their school or their employers. So yeah, that is it.
Okay. So let's start from scratch. Let's try to let me try to go with you through this together. So from the starting beat, we expect now you already have the app. It's already on your phone. You already downloaded it. Now you are opening it, right? So that's where you get to open your application. So once you open your application, you get to choose the data input method. So I don't know if I have to focus on the diagrams again because you remember what we talked about diagrams, unless that is something you like to look at later on. So just go first up there,
Yeah.
back to where we had started earlier on. Go back to the top beat. Super. No, the start point, right? Sorry, up there. Good. So you've used an oval. So an oval means that you're starting or ending the flowchart. So starting point is okay. Using the oval is okay. Then now you get to go to the rectangle. So the rectangle mostly symbolizes the process or the action or the system component or just the step in a flow, which is okay. So the user gets to open the application, which is great. So once the user opens the application, um, this is a this is a diamond. So is this a diamond? They choose data input method, right? That is a
Yeah,
diamond.
that's the time, like a decision making, right?
Yeah, the decision making point. So the conditional logic here mostly is yes, no, or true or false. So here you're trying to now choose the data method, the data input method, which is okay. And I can see there are three core areas here to focus on. The first one is Once you choose the data input method, you get to be connected to the bank account, which is okay. And on the other end, there's a manual entry of incomes and expenses. So I want us to discuss this together. So you've gotten to choose your data input method. Um, from how we had discussed this, so there's you connecting it to the bank account, and then there's manual entry of incomes and expenses. Would you kindly just talk me through this thought process here of how do you go about choosing the data input method to a point where you get to connect your bank account, and then you get to manually enter the incomes and expenses. um, why are we connecting it to our bank account? I remember we had had that conversation before in regards to how our data is supposed to be collected once we get to make any transactions. But you can also just take me through it again. And how will we go about connecting it to a bank account from a technical perspective? Let me know if you've thought through it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I said, okay, the other conversation we had, you said do you say like we do away with the connecting back account,
We do away with what, kindly?
the connecting bank account,
The connecting background.
bank account.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
should
yeah,
we
yeah.
do? Why are you saying that we do away with it?
No, 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 no. I wanted just to look at it from a technical perspective, but I know that is almost way later. We definitely have to figure out how we can be able to access the transactions, right? For example, if it's M-Pesa, our mini statements, if it's a bank account, all our transactions, we have to be able to access the data for all the transactions we've been making, the purchases we've been making, and all that kind of data. The manual entry of incomes and expenses here, um, we realize that it's good, but again, people might actually forget to note the kinds of um, expenses that they spend, because sometimes some tend to be so much impromptu, right? And also, we don't have to leave them out. We have to ensure that we have them in our portfolio of transactions. So just trying to note that, we realize that we need to ensure that we have um, an AI that is able to read all the transactions that we've been making in the past based on our bank account data, or our payment method, if it's M-Pesa or whatever that is, so that we can be able to not manually, but can be automated, can be automatic how we get to read the data, uh, so that we know that based on how we've been doing our transactions in the past maybe 6 years, um, this is how the distribution has been. This is how we make our payment money. This is how we get to pay for mortgage. This is how we get to pay for food. This is how we get to pay for maybe transport, and it has to be automated, because we realize manually, yes, we might really try to think through the details, but it really won't be as accurate as much as we expect it to be. And that means that even if the app is deployed out there, it won't be able to solve the problem even 90%. It will be able to only solve the problem maybe 40%, because of memory. We are humans, and sometimes we tend to have these kinds of challenges with remembering almost everything to detail. Because I'm trying to imagine someone who is in their mid 60s getting to manually enter all their incomes and expenses, and yet um, when you look at the transaction that they've been making for the past 6 years, um, most of the things that they have actually manually entered aren't accurate. because of how they have been transacting before. So when you get that data, first of all, that graph data from the AI, because we expect that this is where AI and machine learning will come in to help us come up with that data, that graph, which really has to be perfect in a way. And then now after that, we figure out how we can be able to get to the next steps. So that's basically how I was looking at it. Instead of manually trying to enter all the incomes and the expenses, how do you think about it?
It's actually a good idea. Can I say?
Hmm. Because again, we're trying to look at the accuracy level here, and definitely for people to give us access to the transactions, and they need to consent to that. So data privacy is very important even in this juncture. But I'm glad that we're here. So when it comes to now choosing the data input method, you need to connect to the bank account or any other payment methods that you have. Maybe it could be M-Pesa, or but it has to be clear which account you want to connect with the application. And the core idea is to ensure that you can be able to read all the past transactions. So for M-Pesa, mostly it's the mini statements. For banks, I guess also it's the transactions that has been going on there for as many years as possible. Yeah, to get the accurate data. So after that, we get to now system collections data. So systems collection data here, we expect that. So from connecting the bank account, I believe this is where you have indicated that you're supposed to now access the transactions, right? From connecting the bank account to now systems collects data. Please let me know how you've thought through this. From connecting the bank account to system collects data, take me through that thought process.
Okay, for me to say the way basically I saw is the way you can connect a bank account. So
Mm-hmm.
in the app, the user you can choose to if you choose to connect a bank account,
Mm-hmm.
it redirects you to bank. So the app sends the user to their bank's like or the official login page. So what you can do is so what do we call the app? What it does is it handles the login. It doesn't actually require a password. I don't know how to explain this. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. We're doing well. We're doing so well.
Yeah.
I would like to understand, so far up to this juncture, I understand what's going on. We have been able to choose our data input method, and here we have a bank account which we have to connect it with our. Then now here there's the manual entry of incomes and expenses, which we've talked about. So,
So if we
mhm.
are we saying like make this thing is complicating me.
Yeah, but it's
My
okay.
question
We know we're doing well. We're doing well. I just want us to make
okay, my
sure that.
question is
Mm-hmm.
are we not happy with the collecting bank account side or are we thinking of how it will work?
Um, we're thinking of how we will be able to accurately get the right data to not just train, or not train rather, but not just access the accurate transaction that has been going on for the past years, but also to be able to ensure that we can have a good and accurate model that is easier for us to enter to check our incomes and expenses and all those kinds of things for accuracy. So the only way we can be able to get that data majorly is from our accounts that we've been using for transactions. And if bank account is one of them, then it's okay to have it here. I just wanted us to see how that process will look like. What was the idea behind manually entering incomes and expenses?
On that one, is it not clear? Uh, that one you can just manually enter what you earn, how much you receive per month, what your main expenses. Yeah,
Okay,
like
okay,
I think that was basic.
okay. Because things might shift. For example, maybe you can get a new job in a different place, right?
I was asking the other day that one.
Yeah. But I was just trying to understand when it comes to expenses now, um, expenses, does it have to be so fixed? Um,
No.
because I understand there's some things that really tend to be so much impromptu, and how that is managed also is very, very important. Because I mean, those are things that we can put under emergency and other stuff. Um, but the manually entering the manual entry of incomes, I think that is okay because of the changes in changes in how jobs do work and things like that. For expenses, because I was trying to figure out from the model, maybe from the data that we'll have collected, we'll be able to check through our expenses unless they're fixed, unless they're fixed expenses, and they can be manually entered here. But even for that, I think we can have it as our first feature, and then give it out there. We see what the users will have in mind, and then iterate. I think also that won't really be a big issue, right?
Maybe.
To avoid making things complicated, because actually up to this juncture we are speaking from a point of myself and you. So
Mm-hmm.
um, and how we are looking at it from a logical perspective, and also from how our humans, I mean human behavior, who we are and how we operate sometimes. So that's basically the logic that I've been trying to use here. But at the core, I think we really don't have to overthink these features as long as the end goal is clear and we are actually moving towards that. Because once we get there, then it will be very easy for us to be able to iterate based on what the actual users will need, and actually what they want at the end of the day. Because again, we don't want to complicate things since we don't even have an MVP out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. So I think we can, so far we can have it there the way it is. But I love the conversation because again, you see, I'm able to look at different perspectives at the same time, and I'm also able to see how you went through the thought
The only
process.
problem that I have is
Mm-hmm.
for the manual entry.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I don't know. I don't see. To be honest, I don't see a problem with creating a bank account because I think that's the easiest way.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about M-Pesa, but bank account.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because that one you just connect with your bank and then it reads your past incomes, past transactions. I think that one is easy. I don't know how you're saying it, but then there is manual entry.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying if there comes any changes on the expenses on incomes, do you have to re-enter it every time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where we are.
Okay. Okay.
That's how I think anyway.
Okay. Okay. I totally get you. So the bank account is okay. But again, I realize most comrades use M-Pesa. um, Yeah, I mean, especially the Fuliza beat and other things. So you can't get all that from bank accounts. I'm talking about most companies in public institutions. About private institutions, also, from how I've also interacted with them a good number, they use cards. So for them, bank account is superb. That's why I was looking at those two accounts, the bank account and the M-Pesa, as a payment method. So I think we can have both of them there. Yeah, but we can
But
always,
the M-Pesa and the bank account.
yeah, no, we can start with the bank account, which means that our target audience will be private institutions.
No, maybe you can start with M-Pesa since most of us use M-Pesa.
Okay, then. So we can just stroke it with M-Pesa so that we have it clear.
So I say connect M-Pesa.
Yeah. Connect M-Pesa stroke bank account. I think that is okay. I definitely have no issue with that.
Yeah, I wonder how is this going to be.
From a technical angle,
Yeah, exactly.
no, it's okay. We can come up with two different ports and then see how we will be able to collect the data from both.
With my few skills, I don't know if I can come with such a anyway.
No pressure. You see, the idea is to make sure we have the logic clear, and then now we see how we can be able to fully implement it. So let's see how that will look like. Super. So once we get there, system collects data. So we expect that the system gets to collect data from both the bank accounts or the payment accounts, and also the um, manually entered incomes and expenses. So we'll be having all of them in this. Sorry, go up. Yeah, just leave it there. So we'll be having all of them in the system collection data section. And then after that, now we go to the AI bit. So here, uh, the AI identifies patterns. So it will identify the essential bills, upcoming bills, income timing. Beautiful. Talk me through income timing.
Income timing is when you usually receive your money,
Okay.
the time that you usually pay you usually, oh my days, how is English not?
Mm-hmm.
Income timing basically means the timing, those times, the time of the month you usually receive your salary and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that will also be manually inputted, right?
Mm-hmm. If also, yeah, if
Okay.
you connect bank accounts, it will, or M-Pesa, it just knows, it reads your past income timings.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So once we do that, the AI sets the safe
It can
path.
also,
Uh-huh.
you can, the income timings, you can also, I think the AI can also read
Mm-hmm.
the gap, like the days in between the day you receive and the day your money ends. Yeah, I don't know, kind of. Yeah.
Okay. The logic looks good. Because again, it will be able to give you an alert. My question now is, when it comes to the essential bills, that's clear. The upcoming bills, that's very clear. The income timing, the income timing. Um, most incomes, they have a range, maybe from 25th to maybe 30th, depending with your workplace. I don't know how that really operates. So again, that is very important because it helps you to manage your finances well. before the actual time for payment actually approaches, or rather quickly approaches. So I think that alert also is very nice to have. Rather, that feature is very nice to have. Up to that point, I believe we are doing well. So thank you. And then now, after that, now we get to AI sets the safe buffer. So talk me through how the safe buffer actually works.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what basically the AI sets buffer meaning?
Mm-hmm.
It means the system, yani, it reserves a way you can spend your money to ensure like the essential goods are first covered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it first ensures that like before you actually go make a decision,
Mm-hmm.
it first ensures the things that are must to be done. It covers, yeah, it covers like essential bills
Okay.
or else. It just prevents you like overspending, or it protects the user from unexpected, what we call the short fillings.
Mm-hmm. So does it give you an alert, like there's an alarm or something like? I would like to
No,
know.
that one comes after. No, no, no.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
It's just a safe buffer, meaning like,
Mm-hmm.
it means it means you first go with what's important.
Mm-hmm.
So it just prevents you from overspending. Like as soon as you get your money, before
Mm-hmm.
you first, because as first you entered you, if you, let's say for example, if you had entered your data manually, like
Mm-hmm.
your expenses, like how much you receive.
Mm-hmm.
So the AI does, it likes what do you call inagawa.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, it means that the system deliberately keeps a safety margin between its operation and
Yeah,
the the
kind
the
of.
risk boundary, right?
Yeah,
So that means that the AI does not operate at the limit. Hopefully, it leaves extra space to prevent failure, error,
yeah.
or harm just in case. Okay, okay, good. I think I like that. So the control aspect there is very important because it ensures stability and safety around it. Good. So once we get there, now it means that we can be able to generate core outputs,
Mhm.
safe to spend focused, and what if scenarios. So let's start to look at it from here. Generate core outputs, safe to spend focused, what if scenarios. Okay. And then now after that, we look at now alerts based notifications. So which I don't know, it can tell yourself to spend $15. Your rent is covered. Talk me through that. Talk me through
Hey,
that.
good
The-
explaining. What am I supposed to?
you're supposed to make the explanation as simple as possible. Actually, that's
Which one
even
now? Where
no.
now?
We are talking about alerts based notifications here. Safe to spend $15. Your rent is covered. Yeah, there. That's basically what I'm talking about. Let's see.
Yeah. So now after the AI has decided on a safe buffer,
Mm-hmm.
it generated outputs like the safe to spend focus. Now I don't know if you're getting this safe to spend focus. This one shows how much the user can safely spend within a day or a week. That is after covering your essential bills and stuff. The money that's remaining on your account now.
Mm-hmm.
So it prevents you from overspending. So what it focuses basically says it helps you in decision making. If you ask the app, like maybe the AI, if you ask, maybe there's a chat, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, what if I spend $15 today
Mm-hmm.
or $20 today? Well, will it affect like my expenses a lot?
Mm-hmm.
So you just can tell you your rent is covered, so and your social bills are covered, you are safe to spend this and this a week.
Okay. Okay.
Is it making sense?
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does. It does. So now after that we get to simulate the patches, and that is where we come up with the what if scenario. For example, give me a scenario in the simulation patches aspect.
Pardon?
You've shared with me that now after we've been able to come up with the alerts based notification, like it's safe to spend $15, your rent is covered. Now we skim through the simulation patches part where we get to look at the what if scenarios. So my question is, um, give me a scenario, or rather, just take me through the how you get to simulate your patches there, like using the tool.
That one means the user can test a spending decision. It's just like the way I said right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Simulate purchase, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the user can test a spending decision before you can actually spend your money.
Mm-hmm.
So you can answer you if you answer it answers the AI answers your question like what will happen if I buy that? What will happen if I spend $20?
Okay, okay, okay. Beautiful. So,
So the user basically
mhm,
that the user enters an amount like
yeah,
the way we say that $10, $15 or $20.
yeah,
So the system then it subtracts this amount from your safe to spend balance.
okay, okay. So the if scenarios here helps you to question why you need to do A, B, or C, whether to maybe make that purchase, and the scenarios after that. For example, if you maybe spend 2,000 bob on this, you'll be able to remain with this, right? Those kinds of questions. That's what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that thought process. And then now after that, we get to view the weekly summary. So in viewing the weekly summary, we are able to look at what, because I can see the arrow comes immediately. It comes from the alerts based notifications, the self to spend $15, your rent is covered, and then the view weekly summary. Take me through that.
Okay. You see these three rectangles at the middle.
Yeah.
This was means after you have received a notifications,
Mm-hmm.
you can decide to simulate a purchase, meaning like what if I spend that? So when the AI has already given you notifications like the rent is covered,
Mm-hmm.
so let's say if you want to buy something today,
Yeah.
you can select a purchase.
Okay.
You can it has given you notifications, right? You can also view your weekly summary, like meaning that your past expenses and the so far how you are, or you can
Mm-hmm.
also decide to do nothing with it. You
Yeah.
did based on the notification that you received.
Okay. Okay. Beautiful. And then on the other end, do nothing in bracket, no penalty.
It's really good too. It's nothing basically. It does nothing.
It's like you don't spend. You won't be penalized if you don't spend. Just chill.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing on it. You
Okay.
when you receive the notifications, you can decide to do nothing with it. So there's no penalty on you. This is just nothing. We can do away with them.
Give me like a minute. Let me pop my laptop. Okay, we're here.
Okay.
So now that we've been able to see the no nothing, no penalty, but let's flow. So the next bit now is the optional features.
So that is the decimal optional features of the whole system.
Okay, take me through that.
So it has optional features.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Like you can turn notifications on and off. Basic, right?
Super basic. Uh-huh.
You also have premium features.
Premium features. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And tell me about the premium features. Which ones are those ones, and what makes them unique from the other features we've looked at?
Okay. Oh my God. Wait, is it?
Uh-huh. These are questions that are very important to answer. So with time, you'll be able
Yeah.
to see why they are super important. And actually, this exercise also helps you to learn how to explain yourself um, from a logical perspective. Yeah, it's very key. So I'm looking forward to that. Tell me.
And also you can have the advanced features include like maybe
Mm-hmm.
okay, on the AI, maybe on the advanced features like what if scenario simulators,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like chatted. Or anyway, maybe like if you when you say like what if I spend this, it's for the premium feature it's unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
You can decide to simulate multiple purchases, something like.
Mm-hmm.
And also on the bill and the AI also there is the incoming prediction, the
Mm-hmm.
your income prediction.
Mm-hmm.
It can like detect your mostly spend your bills automatically.
Mm-hmm.
It can predict next income day. That's not a lie. That's a lie. Can it predict your income next days? No.
No, it can't. It can't predict that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe you tell me what it can do. What are the premium features that you can have?
Um, that's what I want to hear from you because you had it there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see what are these premium
Meaning the
features?
one I have is the unlimited simulation.
Unlimited simulation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about the advanced save to spend focus, which can predict your daily and weekly spend amounting?
Mm-hmm.
So it can adjust automatically for your income,
Mm-hmm.
your upcoming bills, and maybe your irregular spending.
Okay. So now that we're looking at that track, I think
We, we
we
can also think more of it.
yeah, I think for the premium features we can put a star there so that we look at it later maybe because I understand the need for subscriptions, the premium level.
Mm.
So it makes a lot of sense to me. So now let's look at the institutional access.
That one now is hard. Wallahi, I'm just complicating things. Like that happens only if an organization partners with the app.
which means that we don't need it right now because we are targeting. It's a B2C, you
Yeah,
know. We're not
yeah,
targeting,
probably.
you know, businesses or organizations at this juncture. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now that we have been able to get here, I think uh, there are some things that we've been able to note, which I believe we need to definitely look at. Um, but then not a lot of them. Uh, but most of them will majorly be from a technical angle. So now, up to this juncture, if someone gets to ask you in brief summary, which challenge have you solved through this system? What will you answer?
Me, what challenges?
What challenge? What major challenge in simple sentences? What major challenge have you been able to solve using this system? What will you say?
Like problems with the
Which challenge?
overspending.
Yes. So someone might like to hear what have you solved, you know, using the system in.
I've solved overspending. It has it has helped me like safely spend my money.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Okay.
it solves problems. It does actually does.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the month, I can say I've saved certain amount on my account
Okay.
without necessarily pressuring and a lot of putting a lot of what do we call pressure on this.
Okay. And personally, uh, I believe that is great. So we can start from there, especially now in building the product, because up to this juncture, this is a simple but cool MVP. So the next task for you is between now and and maybe evening hours before we meet tomorrow morning is
Mhm.
to properly come up with a readme, not a readme but rather a repository for this. um, a readme, make it private. uh,
Okay.
make it private. Readme documentations including all this diagram, the flow charts and
Okay.
everything.
The documentation does it have to include this diagram?
Yeah, yeah, it has to. Actually, it
So
has
now
to.
how do I include this?
I want you to.
Figure out now.
Can you try to export it as PNG? Just try. We see how it will look like.